JANGO FETT, the name that rings in the ears of the hunted, and the absolute pinnacle of what a bounty hunter should be. Strength, honor, ferocity, fearlessness, and passion all come together when you hear this name. These are of the many characteristics that scream out to you when you hear the name JANGO FETT. So what's going on, guys? I'm James with Star Wars Intel, and today what I have for you guys is obviously a video about the critically acclaimed bounty hunter, JANGO FETT. Now, he's one of my personal favorite Star Wars characters, so I kind of took the inspiration from the first video I made on heroes we could see in Battlefront 2, and I think instead of doing those quick videos where we just quickly go over the characters and whatnot, I kind of want to do individual videos for each separate character because they deserve it if they're obviously going to be on that list. So today we're going to be starting out with Jango, so hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's just get right into this. So guys, to kick this off, I want to start with the abilities that we could possibly see JANGO FETT harnessing. So the first one that I have in my mind is currently on Boba Fett in the game, and it's quite obvious. We have the Mandalorian jetpack. Now, it's kind of impossible to have a JANGO FETT without his jetpack because that's kind of, you know, what keeps him away from danger, you know what I mean? And that's kind of his maneuverability, and that's how he's so good at what he does, is because of that jetpack. So I think that including the jetpack in Battlefront 2, which they obviously will if they add him in, would be really cool and useful, just like Boba's in the current game. Okay guys, so for JANGO FETT's next ability here, I actually went with Explosive Rage. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, which you obviously don't because these are my ability choices, basically what happens is JANGO FETT becomes enraged and his blaster bolts turn to extremely powerful explosive shots. So as you guys can see, and I'll play the clip right now, when he flies up into the air, you could see the little explosive particles coming off of the blaster bolt where it landed, which would indicate that he's using some form of an explosive shot. So I think that this would be really cool to add into the game, not only for accuracy, but it would also make him a very viable character as well. So I hope that we see that into the game. Now, you guys, for his final ability, I'm really kind of stuck with this one because I'd really like to add the grapple hook, which he uses so many times, as well as his son, because it's a very, very good tool to use in combat. However, I just don't see how it could fit into the Battlefront game. I feel like it would be an extremely overpowered thing to use, and like I said, I just don't know how they'd use it. And this list that I'm adding into this video is supposed to make sense, and it's supposed to be integratable into the game, so I really don't see how they would be able to do that. But regardless, I went with Scan Pulse, which is what Boba has right now, and you guys already know what Scan Pulse is. It basically reveals a whole bunch of enemies on the map, and you can see them through the wall. So basically, like Greedo's triangle right now, his triangle ability, except it'll be on an L1. So I went with that instead of the grapple. I'd really like to put the grapple, you guys, but unfortunately, I just don't see how they could put it into the game.
Get on board.
Okay guys, and for his unique trait that I gave him, I'm actually giving him something called Tempered Durasteel. Now, if you guys don't know what Durasteel is, it's basically the material that's inside of Jango's armor, or I guess on the outside, as you can see, like the silver stuff, that protects him from many things. Durasteel is one of the most powerful materials and the most protected materials in the whole Star Wars universe. And it's said that it sometimes can actually deflect a lightsaber. So a lightsaber sometimes cannot cut through Durasteel. So it's very strong, which is why I'm calling his trait this. So basically what his trait does is the more kills that he earns, the more armor he gains. And it's kind of like a system where he gets a lot more health than he just had. And I personally think it's a really cool idea. And it just kind of shows that brute force of a Mandalorian that JANGO FETT shows.